Here I go, here I go, here I go. Yeah, here I go, here I go, here I go. Yeah, here I go, here I go, here I go. And it's a new chapter of my life, so I'm like, here I go.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Take Podcast. I'm your host, Jackson Burleson, of course. In today's episode, I'm joined by Gabe Vasquez, fellow program member and sportscaster.
What's up, bro? Go Cubbies.
You got all the Cubs gear on. You got
yes,
the
sir,
ring.
Bro. Go Cubbies, man. We're going off this
jersey.
year.
You got the World Series.
Got the ring, a little something bling over here, man. You already know.
That's exactly where we're going to start. So,
here you go. Yes, sir.
Cody Bellinger's back, baby.
Let's go, belly bombs.
He got 80 mil. He got the bag.
Yeah,
Not the
bro.
bag he wanted. He wanted 200 million, which is why it took so long.
Right.
But with him on the roster, where do you think the Cubs are going to be by the end of 2024?
Man, they're in line to win the division in my book. I mean, maybe even the whole thing. But with Belly there, it gives us a very high praise to win as much games as we can and do much better than last year, because our main struggle was, runners on scoring position with runners on base with 2 outs and not hitting the ball. And if Belly can get us over that hump, then we have a really good chance to win the division this year for sure.
And when it comes to hitting specifically, I feel like Bellinger was the only guy that we really had that could hit the ball, make a crazy impact on that side of the ball. Besides the defense, we obviously know Swanson has a great glove.
Absolutely.
But who else in that lineup do you expect to step up this season? Because Bellinger can't be the only one hitting.
No, of course not. I think Nico Horner. I think Nico Horner is going to have a great year. He might bounce up from the leadoff spot to the third hole, maybe the second hole. Great contact guy. He's got his power up in the recent years. Not really known for his power. But if he can spray the field, oppo shots, pull shots, up the middle shots, get on base is what you need in producing runs and, getting his on base percentage up and his slugging as much as he can for Cody and for, Swanson and Happy even to drive him in.
Yep.
That'll be great for the team to get some runs on the board.
Yeah, and we got a new manager leading this Cubs team into this season. Our World Series odds are plus 3,500, which is 12th among all major league teams, dude. I'm pumped about that.
I'm stoked this year, man.
How can he manage all these young personalities? Because we got a lot of new faces. We got a lot of unproven players on this team that are still trying to make a name for themselves outside of Swanson and Bellinger.
Yeah, it's a young team that Conso has to deal with, and I think with his experience, he's a veteran manager in the game. He can definitely manage them the right way, teach them some things he's learned in Milwaukee. I mean, he's won a division, 3 out of the last 4 times, and he's a great manager. Took him to the NLCS. If he could get him over that hump and teach him what we need to, he'll be a great manager. I mean,
I'm surprised we got him.
4 years. Yeah, me too. That was a shocker, in my opinion. I didn't see that coming.
That might have been the biggest thing this whole offseason for the Cubs was getting that manager. But is he really worth the $4.5 million we're paying him, though? That's the thing. He has no World Series experience.
Nope, not one.
He's made it to the NLCS, but he lost.
Yeah.
So how is that worth $4.5 million as a Cubs fan? And I'm sure you can understand that.
Yeah,
for sure. I don't get it. I don't think we should be paying a manager that much, but I get he's a very impactful guy.
He really is, and he has no World Series experience as a manager, but he did win a World Series as a player, so that kind of helps. But in the managerial aspect, it's gonna be tough. Is he worth that money? Well, time will tell. I mean, he has to take us to the promised land for us to claim that. He has to win us a World Series at least once out of the 4 years, or take us to the championship series most of the time. But
we should have made the playoffs last season.
Yeah, well,
I mean, we just completely
collapse.
Yeah, exactly. We just didn't show up when we needed to. We were blowing leads left and right.
Completely useless.
We had everything in front of us to win, and we just didn't. And I feel like I don't want that to happen again.
No, yeah, but I feel like what happened in September, in the last stretch of the season, was the managerial part of it. David Ross did not manage the team right in that final stretch. He was pulling Javier Assad, and absolutely dealing in the 8th inning, and decided to bring in our closer, who is not that great, and he just blew the lead. It was a 1-0 lead he was dealing. You gotta feel the environment of the pitcher.
Yeah, I feel like you gotta make sure to feel that. Let's move on to another topic. The commissioner of baseball has announced his retirement for 2029.
Oh, wow.
there's a lot of questions that are going to be going on about that. But the rule changes specifically, it's starting to rain like crazy.
Yeah.
But the rule changes specifically, like the mound visits from 5 to 4. I don't know how impactful that is per se. I mean, it's only one, but maybe to a baseball guy like you, that might be a big difference. But
I think it is a big difference because, not only is it like the pitching coach going to the mound, but it's also a catcher going to the mound. When a pitcher is not feeling it and he's not getting his pitches right, he just has no control. Usually the catcher will come out and calm him down and talk to him about it, get him back in his rhythm. So that could be a big problem in this year's season. But I think, in my personal opinion, what it could affect is the pitch clock. You could see some pitchers who are not ready to throw the ball and the clock's going to hit 0, and you see the catcher just sprint out to the mound, and technically they can use a timeout for a mound visit. And I feel like maybe the MLB and Rob Manfred decided to be like, you know what, we're taking that out so we can limit the times they can stop the clock.
yeah, that's all they're trying to do. I mean, last season, 2 hours and 39 minutes was the average baseball game last year.
Like, that's insane.
I've never would have thought,
no way,
as a baseball person, you would have seen that, because we're used to seeing 5-hour games.
Yeah,
like all of our life.
Yeah.
Like no pitch clock, and they even lowered the pitch clock from 20 to 18.
Yeah, it was runners on base.
That's gonna be an adjustment again. If you're gonna put a new rule in place, you got to give pitchers at least a couple of years to be able to adjust. And lowering it 2 seconds may not seem like a lot, but time is time, and pitchers need every time they can get. They need all of it.
Yeah, I agree, for sure. I feel like they need to just take as much time as they can. It's all mental. For a pitcher, it's all mental, and they get in their head, it's going to throw their rhythm off completely. And that's as much time as they need is key. And 2 seconds, it might make a difference. We'll see. I mean, in spring training, it hasn't made too much of a difference as of right now. But a lot of these minor league players are used to all these rule changes. They experiment these rule changes in the minor leagues.
They do them first
before they go to the majors. So all these younger talents are used to the new rules. So I don't think it'll have a big effect this season. I mean, it's only 2 seconds, but I mean, we'll see. I feel like they probably did that in a way because in the playoffs, I did notice at the time the games were a little longer, maybe because it's just more tense.
I don't know. To me, they felt shorter. Just like watching them as a fan. Yeah, they felt shorter. I'm like, we're already in the 6th inning. Like watching the World Series, I was like, there's only been like an hour and a half that's gone by, and we're already in the 6th inning. I was like, dang, like this is kind of fast. Like usually you could enjoy the game of baseball and sit back, enjoy the atmosphere. And I wonder, I haven't been to a baseball game, an MLB game specifically, since the rule changes have been in place, but I wonder how it feels when you're at the ballpark. It probably feels so
I can definitely tell you, I've been to three games actually with the new rules last year, and it's a big difference, especially in person. It's quick. I mean, you gotta pay attention now. Like if you don't pay, you're gonna miss something. Even I miss something. Maybe I'm like scrolling on my phone checking another box score for another game. I know. Next thing I know, Cody Bellinger has a single to left. I mean, it's really quick now. I mean, it's nice at home. As a baseball fan, I can't lie to you guys. At home it could drag a bit. With commercials, it's not the same. But at the game, you want to have that experience, so that atmosphere and the vibe.
I agree. Yeah.
Just have the whole vibe over there in a good environment, because it's America's pastime, man. We love to see.
Yeah, it's a tradition, and I want to tie this in real quickly. The Oakland A's are trying to become the Las Vegas A's. At the current moment. It's not looking great, but it's still on the trajectory of where they're going to land in Vegas. There's a lot of things going on that says the A's owner is not ready. He still has another stadium plan in Oakland to build, and then he's working on another stadium plan in Vegas.
It's crazy.
He's not being decisive at the current moment. And they're the worst team in baseball, so like personally right now, I don't know if anyone should care, but I do, because, for the A's organization, being in Vegas is a massive upgrade from Oakland.
Absolutely.
I mean, Oakland is not a draw. I mean,
no.
When was the last time that team was really good? I mean, it's
been a while.
70s when they were winning World Series.
70s,
I mean, it's been a
80s.
minute since they've been winning.
Yeah, it's been a while, but
maybe early 2000s was when they were like a contender at least.
Yeah,
but
they made the playoffs a couple times.
But they haven't been like relevant, and I think moving to Vegas will make them relevant again. And I don't know what the hesitancy is. Like,
Yeah, I'm not.
why are you so, like, I just don't understand why you can't make a decision.
No, they got to figure something out. I don't know what the holdup is. Vegas is a great market, and you have the Raiders over there anyway, so you can draw in more fans. You can see Vegas is getting as many sports.
But it's
teams
the
as they
fans of
could.
Oakland that want them to stay.
It's the tradition and the principle that they want. They want to stay there because they don't. That's their hometown. I mean,
and they did the same thing for the Raiders, and they ended up just leaving
Yeah,
anyways.
they just dipped.
Like, I feel like every team in Oakland, like even the Golden State Warriors, like they're in San Francisco across the bridge now. I mean, they left.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I think the A's are just, for the fans specifically, they're holding on to the last hope they have for a sports team. And I feel like it's going to be heartbreaking when they leave because they are going to leave. Like,
Yeah,
it's
for
just
sure.
a matter of time. But we'll see what happens. I think it's going to happen, but there's a lot of question marks going around.
It's a stretch at this point, I believe.
Yeah, I don't know why they're making so much drama about this, but let's move on to Los Angeles, California, specifically the Dodgers.
Oh yeah.
Shohei Ohtani getting the bag, $700 million, but he's not getting the bag until after 2034.
Yeah, I mean,
he
I guess-
deferred like $680 million worth of that contract to win, I guess. I mean, if you look at it, he still cares about money, obviously. He got the
for
richest
sure.
contract in sports history. Like, it's no athlete has ever gotten $700 million. Like,
no,
that's
he
over
is
half.
right. Oh,
Like, that's over
absolutely.
$500 million. Like,
Absolutely. I mean, he is the highest paid athlete in general, and it's insane. But yeah, he still cares about money, but to an extent where he wants his team to be good. Ohtani wants to win. He turned down $200 million prior to get to the MLB 2
I don't know if
years
that was
sooner.
smart because he was going to the Angels, where that's not a winning organization.
Hey,
if you want to win, I don't know if that logic really made sense.
I'm not Ohtani, so I can't speak for the man. I want my bag personally.
He made $4 million instead of $200 for just wanting to go to the majors early. I mean,
Hey, I guess the
I
man.
mean, I don't know if that was a
I
smart
don't know.
choice.
Hey, again,
It paid
I'm
off
not
for him at
him,
the end, I
but-
guess.
You're right, exactly. I mean, he's got Yoto, who is absolutely disgusting, also from Japan. They got
$300
Tyler
million,
Glass
by the way.
now.
So 2 players, guys, we just mentioned, have $1 billion
Got the bag.
on the payroll for the Dodgers. But go ahead.
No, you're good. It's insane, honestly. But Yoto's disgusting. I mean, his splitter is absolutely filthy. I mean, it's just pure filth. What we call in baseball tunneling, you take 2 pitches that look the exact same throughout the pitch, but the last minute they dip and they go the separate ways based on what pitch it is, and that's exactly
His
what
breaks are too
Yamamoto
high,
does.
too.
And it's just
They're way
insane.
too
His
high.
breaks, yeah, he has to get them down.
Because
And
I'm
it's
telling
not
you,
gonna slide.
major league hitters are going to be hitting bombs off those. Like,
Absolutely.
absolute bombs.
Power hitters. Are
I feel
going
like
to
he's
cookies.
a great oncoming pitcher, but I think he'll struggle at the beginning of his career, and then when it gets to the summertime, I think he's going to pick it up because I can already tell in spring training he's still trying to adjust to the major league game. It's different from Japan. I mean,
yeah,
it's hard to
absolutely.
go from triple crowning 3 years in a row. to
Yeah, that's
going
insane.
From the
That
major
guy
leagues when
literally
you're
is
not
insane.
the best pitcher in the league anymore. I mean, that's a tough
Yeah.
adjustment,
Yeah,
and he
has-
hasn't played a major league game yet, and he's already valued at $300 million.
Yeah,
Like,
we
I think that's insane.
Absolutely.
Like, he hasn't been proven at all in the majors, and he's worth $300 million.
Yeah, we'll see what he does. I mean, he has to adjust, and the pitching coaches there and the majors are much different. They have a much different approach. They know how to adjust to these Japanese pitchers who become very successful in the MLB. But if he can get over that little hump, and get rid of that little scuffle he can get over, if he has it, and we don't know if he has it, maybe he'll dominate. He looked amazing in spring training. But it's spring training, to be fair.
Let me ask you this about Ohtani.
Oh, here we go.
Without pitching,
Oh.
can he still win his 3rd MVP?
Oh, absolutely.
This
100%. It's not even close. I mean, if Aaron Judge breaks the home run record again, then maybe. But if Ohtani can put up the best offensive, numbers we've seen in MLB history, there is no doubt. I mean, I have no doubt Ohtani will win his 3rd MVP.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up Aaron Judge. We'll kind of circle back around. The Dodgers are the favorites to win it all, of course. I mean,
Oh, yeah. I mean,
their
they
lineup is
better.
unfair. It's like Diamond Dynasty in MLB The Show. I mean, you got Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts,
Studs,
like
man.
Ohtani. Like,
Oh, absolute studs. You got Max Muncy out there, too.
not fair.
Even Walker Buehler, he'll come back. He'll be back in a couple years. He's on.
Kershaw will be
injured.
back
Kershaw.
in August, which
Yeah,
I don't know what that's going to do.
Isn't Kershaw coming back in July or something like
They
that?
said July-ish in
Oh,
August.
man.
They said July at the earliest. August for sure.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's a long way.
He's close to 3,000 strikeouts.
He
though.
is though.
But can he get it from August to October?
I don't think so. I don't know if he will. That's going to be a tough stretch. He might need one more season to get there, and that probably be it. He'll probably call it quits, hang up the jersey. But the Dodgers are allowed to
just
prove.
torn up, dude.
What was that?
That shoulder's just torn up.
Yeah, no, he's been in the league for a minute. Former Cy Young and MVP. He's really good out there, man, but he struggles in the playoffs.
Yeah, we saw it last year where he got 6 runs scored on him in 1/3 of an inning.
That's a tough watch for Kershaw. You know, it's not one of his greatest outings, but
I feel like I'm just watching
he
a
has
sad
history.
decline.
Yeah,
That's what it
really
seems like.
is tough. But he's still a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, 100%.
100%, he's still a Hall of Famer.
100%.
I mean, pitchers don't get MVPs like that, but he did in 2014. Absolute stud. I mean, his curveball, 12-6, comes up and then dips down. It's just unbelievable. Kershaw in his prime, man. If you had Kershaw in his prime
nasty.
now,
No, the Cubs struggled with him.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
That one time he was good in the postseason.
Yeah.
Outside of
Well, the Cubs did rock him in 2016 and LCS. That was good to see. I thought I was really nervous.
yeah, we got revenge there.
We sure did.
Now let's circle back to kind of the Yankees. They're arguably a World Series favorite as well.
Absolutely.
They just traded for Juan Soto,
Yeah.
who is an amazing hitter. He has power. He's just going to come in there and make a huge impact. I mean, the Yankees bats, I mean, you can't question them. I mean,
No.
they got Rizzo, Stanton,
Rizzo.
Judge.
Yeah, man.
I mean, it's
LeMahieu.
full of studs.
They got all of them, man.
Full of absolute studs. Like, the hitting has always been there for the Yankees. But now they got solid pitching.
Yeah, they got
which
Stroman.
is a problem. Which is a big problem. They picked up Marcus Stroman from our Cubbies. Unfortunately, he was an all-star last year.
That really sucks. Yeah, he really was, and that hurts. But let's see how he does in the Bronx, man. I feel like you can find his groove like he did last year. You know, Stroman won't overpower you with any pitches. His game is contact, soft contact, and if he has a good defense behind him, like he did with the Cubs, he'll be very successful. And who knows? The Yankees might rack up in that division, man, and probably take it. I mean, it's a tough division.
They should have done that last season, but, you know, Aaron Judge had that injury, which he came out and said that toe injury he got last season, he's going to have to maintenance for the rest of his career. Like, I don't know if that's something I can buy into when it comes to the Yankees making it to the World Series or winning the AL pennant. I don't know if I can buy into that. I know they got a bunch of other players around him, but you see how bad the Yankees get when Judge is just not on the field.
Yeah,
he's only one player. And I know you speak of this all the time. One player can't carry a team like basketball. But for some reason, Aaron Judge just seems to be able to be that guy in baseball.
Yeah, he's one player that really just carries the team for some reason.
I don't know why, and he's not hitting me pitch.
No, he can't. But his bat is just so amazing. I mean, he's just so good with the bat.
I mean, he hit he broke the home run record.
He broke the home run record. I mean, 22
AL
MVP. Yeah, man, he has a really big impact. But
he's 6'9".
That's insane. Man's a beast.
Man should be playing basketball, but he's playing football.
Baseball.
Or baseball.
Football would be better, too. I mean,
yeah, he'd be a tight end.
Yeah, literally. But I think what the Yankees have to do is be consistent. And they were not consistent last year.
Well, it's just being healthy.
You know,
I feel like consistency plays into being healthy all the time.
Yeah.
And they just aren't.
Yeah.
Even
absolutely.
Rizzo was unhealthy.
Yeah, he had a concussion protocol. He even played with a concussion. He got hit by Tatis in the knee. And he kept playing with that, you know, concussion that he thought he didn't have, but then it ended up getting worse. And he was out for a while and put up the worst numbers in his career that second stretch.
Yeah, I feel for Rizzo because, you know, he won the World Series with us.
I
But
miss that, man. Yeah.
let's transition into first of all, I've never gotten to come on the podcast since the last time we did this.
Oh, yeah.
I was correct on the Phillies-Braves take.
Oh, man.
The Phillies
There we
beating
go.
the Braves. So happy, by the way.
Oh, I
but
bet.
I just don't see the Braves losing to the Phillies again if they match up in playoffs with them. They just
I
can't.
can't.
But with the new
I
playoff
promise
format,
you.
possibly could happen again.
Oh, absolutely. I promise you, if this happens, it's rigged. It's rigged. I mean, there's no way. I mean, I honestly.
But the Phillies they're stacked.
They really are.
Tawan Walker,
They extended
Zach
Aaron
Wheeler.
Nola. They extended Aaron Nola.
Aaron Nola's
I mean,
back on $172 million.
Yeah, I mean,
Castellanos was a stud in the playoffs last year, dude.
If there was an MVP for the NLDS,
bro, man hit like
Castellanos will take it. Yeah, he had 4 home runs. I mean, it's insane. He had excuse me here. He had an on-base percentage like over, I think, 4.
Well,
I mean,
it
that's insane.
helps when you're getting walked and you're hitting homers all
Absolutely.
the
I
time.
mean, his slugging was off the charge. His average is over 4 as well. I mean, it's insane.
And then Trey Turner, dude. Terrible
my goodness,
regular
Trey
season.
Turner,
and he
that's
just
right.
came in and turned it around. Like, he came in and said,
It was that standing ovation.
I'm him.
Yeah.
I'm him. He literally,
He
like,
is.
didn't miss I don't
No.
think he went one game without having a strikeout. I
No,
mean,
yeah, he's insane. Trey Turner's he's unbelievable.
I
top
love that
5
team, man.
Top 5 shortstop.
Phillies Braves was a great series. I think the Braves picking up Chris Sale was probably the most underrated pickup in the entire offseason.
For sure.
In my opinion. I know Chris Sale's old. He's played like 11 games or like it was like not before last year. He played 20 games last year.
Yeah.
He had 11. He played 11 games before he played 20 last season.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's really
you know
weird.
he's not healthy.
For sure.
But can he stay healthy on the Braves? I hope so because
Yeah.
Spencer Strider can't be the only one
No.
carrying the load. I mean, he did have 20 wins last year,
That's
but
insane.
you got to have some. Like Charlie Morton is old. Like
Yeah, that
he's
guy's
an
not
old
gonna
guy. He can
produce
come
as
in there
much
and he
as
can
he
give
can.
you a good couple innings, but he's not going to be carrying you when it comes postseason time. I mean, that's when Strider's going to have to come in and he's going to give you solid 5 innings.
Yeah.
At least.
They definitely need Chris Sale to step up. This is also his year to prove to the people that he is legit. Great pitcher, very overpowering. You know, it's a
Well,
great
there's no
fastball.
question he's
good slider.
legit. It's just whether he can stay healthy. I think that's
Yeah.
that's been his main question mark his whole career. I mean, even on the White Sox, trash team, he was
Yeah.
good.
Oh, yeah, he was great.
He led the AL in strikeouts like
Yeah.
a couple times.
I mean, his career batting average against is 231. I mean, that's really good.
I think it's just crazy that he doesn't have a Cy Young though.
No.
For a pitcher at that
Yeah.
caliber.
Well, when you have dominant pitchers like Kershaw and Scherzer and DeGrom and even Arrieta, who won 2015, and Sale was in his prime at that time. So, you know, I think with Sale is that he is effective, but he will get rocked when he needs to. Like if he just isn't producing like he should with his pitches, he will get rocked. But he's very effective, and this is the year to prove it. And if he can stay healthy, like we're saying, the Braves are scary, and they are my favorite.
No, they're
to
good.
win
They
World
got the
Series.
bats, of course. Like they got Albies, Ozuna, Riley. Like you mentioned, like all those
Acuna.
guys were
God,
just
MVP Acuna,
studs.
my boy.
Acuna he's right behind Ohtani, second best player in baseball. I'll say that right now.
It's close. It's close.
insane what that guy's doing. But the defending world champs, can they defend again? That's the question.
Ooh, I don't know about that. I don't know. It'll be pretty tough with this powerhouse of teams we got coming up this year. But if the Rangers can stay consistent throughout the year and get hot when they need to, like they did last season, they have a good shot. I mean, it's probably unlikely, but it's not impossible. If Jacob DeGrom,
Yeah, I don't want to overblow Jacob DeGrom or anything like that and say if he stays healthy, they run it back. But if he stays healthy, they might run it back.
Yeah, it's a great possibility if they do. I mean, we'll see where it takes them.
And
The
they got
bats are really
Scherzer
good.
now. Like,
yeah, Scherzer
they
as
have
well.
him for a full season.
Yeah, man.
He's going to get
Nathan
implemented.
Eovaldi. Oh, Nathan Eovaldi in the playoffs, bro, is literally clutch. That man is insane in the playoffs. I'm telling you. Oh man, he's so good. He knows how to
What
get
was the
himself
last,
into
team to
and
go
out of
back
trouble.
to back? It was the Yankees, right?
Yeah, but they had a three-peat.
In the like late 90s?
Yeah, 98, 99, and 2000. They had a whole three-peat, and that was the last time. So,
Yeah, I don't know.
if any team can do it, and if the Rangers can pull it off, they need to pick it up again. But most importantly, stay consistent and stay hot at the end of the year.
I'm not going to sit here and say they can, but I'm not going to sit here and say they can't.
Yeah.
I'm not picking them to win it all.
No,
I'm
no.
picking the Dodgers straight up.
I got the Braves, man.
But I really love the Phillies still. I think they're still dangerous.
yeah.
They're still a dangerous team. They proved the last 2 years that they're arguably one of the most dangerous teams in baseball. You cannot mess around with them.
No.
You can't do it.
No, they're and when it comes to the highest moments, when the lights are the brightest, they produce, man.
They hit.
They really
They got
do.
Bryce Harper, who's literally made for that. Literally made for the bright lights.
Bryce Harper's playoff stats are insane.
Yeah, it's insane. I mean,
all
he doesn't.
needs is that World
he doesn't
Series
light it up
ring.
during the regular season, but I mean, he shows
Still
up when he
MVP
needs to.
caliber stats, you know, he still throws it up, but his career batting average is 276.
That's good.
That's great.
That's
I mean,
really
I am
good.
a fan of that. I love that a lot. I mean, his slugging is 613. That's really good too.
We all
His
know
OPS
Bryce.
is close to 1,000.
We all know
96.
Bryce Harper's a good player. We all know that, and that's why the Phillies beat the Braves last year.
Okay. All right then.
Man, but I appreciate you coming on the pod, Gabe. I appreciate it. This was a fun one.
Of course, man. No problem.
The water fountain, but
No, that's a nice
thanks
little
again,
feedback
dude.
here. Of course, man. I love baseball, man. Go Cubbies. We're taking it all this year.
yeah, go Cubs. I'm your host, Jackson Burleson. Thank you guys for watching this episode of the Take Podcast. Hit the subscribe button, guys. Peace out.
Go Cubbies.
Talk to me, baby. Talk to me nice. I'm from another world, baby, yeah. Broadway paradise. They think I'm way too cold, cause I put my heart up.